Class, today we are going to be talking about things that rot your brain. Teacher, I hear the Ron Taylor report will rot my brain. Is that true? What a tool. Well, that's correct, Susie. If you listen to the Rob Taylor report, it will rot your brain. Therefore, you must dive under your desk, grab the back of your head, and do the duck and cover maneuver. Let's see this example. Mama, I want to watch the Rob Taylor report. Timmy, no! It's too late. You've been warned. Children should not watch the Rob Taylor report. Somebody please think of the children!
Would somebody please think of the children? Yes, it's another Friday night rant. I've got some really good characters on tonight. I've got Marty joining me. I've got Chris Castleman joining me. Brandi and Carol are supposed to be joining me. I just got a text from Brandi. She's trying to jump on the internet right now, and we'll see what happened to Carol here in a minute. She'll get back to me.
Won't someone please think of the children?
Hey, you sound exactly like that guy.
I know, because it's me.
He does a great impersonation of who's the IT guy for the county?
Darius.
Oh no,
Darius. Yeah. No doubt.
You're an idiot.
So how was the rest of the day, Marty, at the headquarters?
Ooh, excitement. You and Frank left, and I cleaned up a little bit, had a cupcake, left probably about 15 minutes early so I could get home and have something to eat before joining the rant, and that brings us right up to now, this very moment.
So nothing. I think we're going to have to find some place that's a little bit more right on the main drag or something, I guess.
Well, I think we need to promote it a little bit more, too. I think people are kind of burned out on the whole, like, sign the petition. It's like, I don't know exactly. I mean, maybe when the clawback tax petition hoo-ha thing gets going, then there'll be another upswing, but I don't know. It's just getting people out there. I mean, you were complaining earlier today. It's like people are always going, hey, where can I get a sign? Where can I get a sign? And now we have a location where they can get a sign 5 days a week from 2 to 6, and nobody shows up. So there's just no pleasing some people.
There really isn't. Brandi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm actually going to look for my earbuds. I'm staying with a friend up north. And
you've been kind of disheveled. How's your father doing?
Better. So they think they got all the cancer out, which is the big thing, right? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Get my earbud going here. There we go. Can you guys hear me okay?
It's a good thing. Cancer is a horrible thing.
It was scary. And it was he had a major surgery. He had one of the most major surgeries you can have where it was from chewing tobacco. And so they had to remove part of his under tongue and part of his teeth and shave part of the bone down. And he had to have a trach to breathe through, and he's on a feeding tube through his nose. And so they had to take skin grafts. So they had to take a graft from his arm and put it in his mouth. And then they took a graft from his leg and put it on his arm. And I don't know why they did it that way. I think maybe the leg is easier to protect from infection than your arm right here or something like that. The one on the leg just has this fabric over it that is acting as a scar and will peel off as it heals. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful that I have been here. I don't know. It was so bad for that first week. Those first few days, I think he was just thinking what did I do? I should have just died of cancer.
You need to go from elementary school and mid school traveling, telling that story, because now I only did chewing tobacco once, and I said, wow, who the hell would put that crap in their mouth? And I never understood it. I never got into it. But boy, I got a lot of buddies who just are nonstop with the chewing tobacco, and they think it's better because they're not smoking. And it's
no.
And
you do not want to go through this. I cannot stress enough. You do not want to have this happen to you. What he has gone through, man, I've been with him every day, all day, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's kind of been my job. And he's needed so much more to be comfortable than what the hospital administration just like provides in care. And don't get me wrong, they've done a fantastic job, but like, the hospital schedules a certain amount of care for each patient and they staff accordingly. And for me to be there to be like giving him suction, clearing his cannula as it would get clogged with phlegm and he couldn't breathe. And I was right there to like be on it. Cause like when me and him talked about it and I'm like, this is going to be scary. When you wake up, it's going to be scary. Like you're going to be breathing through your neck. Like you're going to be freaked out. And he's like, no. He's like, I know. And I think it was like day number 2, I was like, is this harder than you thought it was going to be? And he was just like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That just sucks.
Thank
Chris,
you. It's been crazy.
Chris, you ever do the chaw? You ever chew?
Nope. Don't smoke. I tried pot a few times. I think I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe I'm allergic because every time I use it, I get really red-eyed and funny acting. So
Yeah.
There you go.
You have quite the reaction to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to in college, I smoked a little pot but it was Iowa ditchweed. So it wasn't very potent. And I had some friends in Los Angeles that were really into it. And they're like, oh, here, try this. And I took like one puff and I was like, okay, that's just way over my head. I can't do this anymore because it was not a portion of reality that I could actually connect to. And I was like, yeah, I've got enough issues with the reality. I don't need things making it weirder. So
some people, drugs are just not for, and I recommend you stay the hell away from them if you can't take them. That's what I would say. And I think a lot of these people on the streets shouldn't be on drugs because they obviously cannot handle them. So
it sucks that, there's a lot of people that can't even handle having access to drugs.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how true that is. I've never had a drug problem, but I've, had some experiences being around drugs.
Right.
Addiction has never been an issue for me. And so I think I was a little bit naive to how bad addiction can grip a lot of people and it changes people.
oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. I've experienced it myself where using quite a bit of the stuff just doesn't help you. But Jeremy, hey Jeremy, how you doing? Jeremy was one of the wonderful people who showed up to that meeting this past week. And Brandi, you're not even a Republican, and yet you were part of the discussion. Isn't that weird?
So how'd that go?
Hey, Chris, you want to go hit that one?
I mean, it was stupid. At one point, the treasurer claimed that the $6,000 in the bank account had disappeared because we gave it all to you. And I have no idea where that comment came from or what the hell she was talking about. True story.
Is that crazy?
That seems like it would be an accusation that would warrant some substantiation.
I quickly clarified that was absolutely not true and made no sense, and we moved on.
The expression on Chris's face was like, where do I go with that? Well, I mean, where do you even, hello?
Like, do I call for help? Like someone
like,
please
is
get
the
this
money
woman?
still in the account?
Yes, we verified that. I had no doubt that it was still there. It was just
That's
a very
pretty
weird comment.
Inappropriate.
We got a guy
thing to
from
say.
South Central Texas. Where are you from, James? In South Central Texas.
James
live in Muleshoe. I don't know.
7301.
Boston area? Houston area?
I don't know.
Texas cities.
There's a whole lot of South Central Texas, so it could be a number.
It's very big.
It's a very large state.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, yeah.
So you were mentioned because this was what their strategy was. They wanted to ditch Coleman for Osborne running for Rod Taylor's seat for the commissioner's position. And they thought that somehow we were going to endorse you and give you money, and that would open the door up for them. And it never happened, but they opened the door up anyway because they're insane.
And just to be very clear, I have not taken any money from the Fockers nor the Coos County Republicans. I have not asked for any money from any of them. I have not asked for an endorsement. I'm just here because I want to push the political conversation into the public sphere. And so to suggest anything otherwise, I think requires some substantiation. I'd like people to come with receipts.
Yeah. I would like people.
Hello, lady. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, comments like that were the group obviously knew that someone was being crazy. So I would also just like to point out that Rain's YouTube handle is Rain Loves Jay, and that is so cute, you guys.
Aw, that
So
is cute. I love that.
What a fucker she is.
There it is.
Around San
that's
Antonio
cute.
area. That's cool. So
Hey,
this James guy, he's around the San Antonio area.
What
Back
brought
in
him to
the
your
day,
show?
San Antonio was the coolest place to
questions.
go travel to and party.
Is it still?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Go down to the River Walk. Go to the Alamo and ask to see the basement. That's always a joke. That's always a joke.
Where
I've
did
been
Carol
to
go? She had the
Dallas
most
several
beautiful
times.
shoulder.
Where did she go? She's trying to get it.
There she is.
Hey, Carol.
Hey,
we can see
Rob.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Carol.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We
We
can.
can.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's amazing.
And then she's gone.
That's all we get.
Hey, Rob. I put Rick's endorsement there. One of the graphics I put up, the lighter one, is there
That's
you go.
cool. Very
So
cool.
he was officially endorsed last
Oh, he
Friday.
was. Oh, that's cool.
Party.
Good for him. Very nice. Good for him.
I believe it was all but 2 votes against him. So like
That's cool.
50 in favor, 2 against.
Cool.
Nice.
They wanted us to Rod Taylor made the motion to endorse John Sweet, and of course most of the room was against that, but he is a registered Republican. I understand why he would do that, but that's something as a party we're going to have to talk about. What is the criteria for picking people to endorse? And so Richard it was only intuitive to endorse him because he was the only Republican who didn't have a Republican challenger or someone who was close to a conservative challenging him. And so, of course, he was naturally chosen for an endorsement.
Easy choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, the Republican Party does have a responsibility to promote Republican Party members. Like their whole job is to facilitate their party's power. And I mean, I'm just saying it bluntly, like that really is the point. It's the point of all political parties, right?
Right.
So of course they would do that. You promote Republicans. And so now when you look at what the overall goal of why you're trying to promote Republicans, that's when you get into the area of when there's Republicans or like myself, non-affiliated, but one is significantly more conservative and significantly more proactive than the other. How does the committee address that? And like you said, I think that's going to be a great conversation for you guys to have, because it's going to kind of create the foundation or the backbone of what the party is going to become from here out. So that's going to be an important conversation to have. And whether they choose to endorse someone or no one is, fine either way. They may decide that it's not appropriate to make a call on this seat in this case.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I could have been at that meeting because I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if
Same.
you made a motion to endorse either myself or Pam for clerk, and like how would that vote go?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a So one of the things Rob and I have talked about, I'm a huge proponent of this. I'll probably suggest it at one of the next meetings, but I believe we should change the threshold for endorsement. So I think an endorsement should not just be a simple majority. I think it should be 3/4 majority at a meeting. I also think the level of quorum should be raised higher. Right now it's 3 people. You can have 3 people and that's quorum.
Wow.
That's insane. So quorum should be a much higher percentage of the PCPs. If we've got 100 PCPs, I think it wouldn't be crazy to say that we need 20 of those people in a room to be able to make decisions. And
I would
anyways,
think so. That's a weird rule that not all parties have, is where we have a quorum for the meeting, because some of them you have to have a quorum of the whole entire body anytime you meet to vote. When it's just a quorum of whoever shows up. So yeah, I could see wanting to change that.
yeah. Well, and then also for a contested primary, meaning like 2 Republicans, like Marty mentioned, him and Pam, 2 Republicans going in the same primary, it should generally be hands off. A Republican Party should not touch that race in terms of endorsements, but maybe there would be a caveat. Like, let's say, some well-known Democrat just switches just to mess with us or something, or just to be funny. I have no idea the situation, but let's just say there's somebody that is absolutely not someone who we should endorse, and we should be going with Republican number 2. Then maybe have a caveat that if it's unanimous, that like if there's 50% of the actual voting membership, not just present, but voting membership of the whole body votes, then you could endorse in a primary situation. In an extreme, I don't know, like come up with these edge cases and put them in there, but because you don't want to just start endorsing in a primary.
No,
It would really discourage Republicans from running. It would really discourage that.
Yeah.
no,
And that
you
is the
never
big
want to do
difference.
that. Yeah.
That's a really important point, Chris. I think that's probably the most important thing, because we all should be committed to encouraging and increasing participation in the political process.
To Jeremy's question right here, or actually it's a statement. Quorum should be half of the PCPs according to Robert's rules. Yeah, that would be a problem with 150 PCPs. We need 75 of them to show up to a meeting, and I personally think that 25% or 30% would probably be more proper, because what happens is that over a period of time, sometimes you can't get those PCPs to show up, and they have trouble meeting quorum in other places, like in Douglas County. After they removed all these people from the executive board, they couldn't meet quorum because it was overall total of the party, not just who showed up to the meeting. So that would be a little bit more of a difficult bar to reach. And Chris and you guys, I would like to hear that, because that's kind of the things we're going to have to discuss and decide.
Well, I'm going to reach out to the ORP at some point, maybe the next convention we go to, but we've got to solve the issue of people signing up PCPs who aren't actually interested in being active. So this other side of the party right now that's kind of what they've been doing. They've been signing up PCPs. They've been doing it for years, that don't come to meetings. They're just a placeholder. So they make it harder to do things like recalls and control the party from the group. They hold up spots that would otherwise be going to active and excited Republicans. So maybe if we could do something in the bylaws that if you don't show up to 5 meetings or something like that, then you're not a voting member, or you don't count towards quorum, something like that. Because there's people, remember Brandi, that I think there's like a house near where you live that has like 3 people signed up as PCPs who I cannot find anybody who knows anything about. I mean, I know you know them, but I mean, within our membership, none of the other PCPs.
Those
know
people,
anything.
I think the specific people you're talking about actually sold their house and moved away.
But they just signed up to be PCPs again. 2 of them, 2 out of the 3.
Message me their names. I know who
It's
everyone is
insane.
out there.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
I've
That's
tried
weird. Not
contacting
to.
them
I'm just
through
going to
all
sign
sorts
up
of
and never
means.
show up. That's weird.
Yep,
to find out
somebody's
what's
telling
going
them to
on.
do it. I highly doubt they're just randomly doing it on their own. It's a
And
pretty
they're
weird
out
thing to
Fairview?
learn about. Yep. I'll send it to you. But yeah, we've got to have active members, and then that's how you can make a quorum higher and really, empower the group. The point
I
is
like
not to
Jeff's
exclude
idea of
people.
making it a percentage.
So to Jeff Pete's question, can you make quorum a percentage? Yes, you can make 25, 30% quorum, whatever you want. You're a party. You can pretty much do what you want. It's carte blanche for a party. Just got to follow the ORSs.
Yeah, even 10% would be higher than where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 3 is a ridiculous number. It's like, okay, especially since they're so very adamant about advertising the meetings, where it's like, okay, I'm only going to tell 2 of my friends. Let's all 3 of us show up, and now we've got a quorum, we've got a meeting, and we want to get rid of Danessa, and we want to get rid of Chris, and we want to get rid of all the people we hate, and we've got quorum, so we can do it. And it's like, yeah, that's a good way to run things.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree
not
with
going to
Phil.
happen anymore.
If I expected pizza and I showed up hungry,
Mm-hmm.
nah, that meeting ain't gonna go well. I'll be
Well,
pissed
it was
about
2 hours into this meeting, and we took a recess, and we knew there was about 2 hours left, which we were right. It was a 4-hour meeting, and so I had gone around, and we figured out that the Fockers were going to order pizza and have it delivered. And I believe we went and placed the order, Rob. Right? We even placed the order,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
I made an announcement once we got back from recess that had happened, that the Friends of Coos County had generously donated pizza, and it was going to be delivered. Well, they shut the gate on us, on the
Mhm.
delivery driver, and said that we were not allowed to have food because they just said we're not allowed to have food at that facility, even though a year ago we had a meeting there and we had food. So absolutely nuts. This is the
Wow.
kind of bullshit that is finally over with. We are done doing stupid stuff like that. That'll never happen again, at least not under my watch.
Congratulations, you guys. That's,
So.
man, I don't think people really realized what was going on.
No.
And having been at the meetings and seen it with my own eyes, I'm glad I wish there's a few meetings I've had to miss that I wish I could have been there, but man, I'm just so happy for you guys that you got your party back and you guys are able to start actually doing stuff and getting candidates involved and just bringing people into the political process generally.
Chris even got us our Facebook page back, and it was so neat. I got to, in the first time in a year and a half, I got to make a comment and share the Coos County Republican Party Facebook page post. And thank you, Chris. I'm glad you got that.
You're welcome. Casey Nielsen
That's
helped
cool.
a lot on that. It was a mediator, but I actually put the post in the it's the other image I shared, so people can see it. And we're meeting next Wednesday at Tugman. There you go.
We didn't pick the spot.
Did not. Yeah, so somebody picked a gazebo in the most northern part of our county and did not even book said gazebo, and was just going to send the whole party there to have a meeting at a place that was not reserved for us.
That's so screwed up, man.
I
That is
hope
screwed
people
up.
just pause for a moment to think that through, that the guy booked this venue for a time of year when it's really not super, not a super secure, like going to be a nice day type of situation, and didn't book it. So all of you guys could have shown up and there could have been like a birthday party going on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Or it could have been raining with no gazebo.
yeah, or it could be like blowing sideways or something, and we have,
I mean, it still might be.
shelter.
And
It's just,
that's where we're
it's
going to go.
so diabolical.
Yeah.
It's just so cruel and petty and small.
I don't
Or-
think
or
he
what-
came up with it. I think someone else came up with it and gave him the idea, to be honest with you.
That's
I
terrible.
think they're real funny, but
They should feel bad about what they
the
did.
people who support those types of people and those sorts of decisions should be ashamed
Yeah.
of themselves, honestly. Like, you'll have somebody who'll be like, oh, so-and-so, like, they were on the North Bend School Board, like, they're a really good person. I'm like, yeah, but do you know that, like, every step of the way they were lockstep and key with, this guy, the chairman, and agreed with him and enabled him to do this? And they're like, really? I would never
Mhm.
see that person doing it. It's like, yeah, now we illuminated, right? We put some light on all these people and showed their true colors. And maybe that was a good thing. It was like
That was the
a
best thing of
process
the
we had to go
meeting,
through.
Chris. We were able to sit there and there wasn't, every now and then we'd have some outbursts, but they weren't that nearly that bad as sometimes. But we were pretty well behaved and we didn't really say a lot. He led the whole entire meeting and people were able to see the real Michael after 4 hours. After 4 hours, he couldn't conceal himself. Carol, what do you think? You've been dealing with this for a while. You're there. You've been on other boards. What do you think of this chair? What do you think of his place of selection of location to have the next meeting? What do you think of his, causing these problems?
Well, it's deliberate. There's definitely deliberate, and it's just to discourage people from participating and making things hard. A lot of immaturity. He just wasn't suited for this position. And, a couple of his, I'm sorry, I'll call her out, Julie and his mom. I'm sorry, guys. You don't, this thing, well, you're not showing any respect. And I didn't see any respect from them. It's like, what do you want? It was pretty much a joke, but it was a very long joke. However, here we are. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I feel like it was a delivery. I feel like we just delivered a baby. It was literally that much of at the end of the meeting, we were like physically exhausted because, it was a long ass meeting. And yeah, it was something. But the next morning, Chris had coffee with the conservative. And I guess a whole bunch of people showed up because they were all energized because of the meeting. That's really kind of cool.
Well, yeah, and you were at the Wednesday night thing. It was like double the
Yeah.
amount of people we normally have. It was crazy. It was packed.
Well, I think what's happened is they don't realize how they have really gotten under everybody's skin. And now, they're quite upset. And it's like, guys, use an ounce of maturity, use an ounce of integrity on how to conduct yourself.
Self-preservation at a bare minimum.
Yeah, it was a joke, Brandi, a complete joke. And I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah. They're using the same petty tactics that we see like at commissioners meetings when the Howard bunnies show up because they don't like a specific thing going on.
Yes.
Or when you see people screaming at 5-year-olds at the No Kings rallies.
Yes.
And you're going, so you're emulating these type of people which we despise, and somehow you think that's going to win us over to your side. I don't get that, because psychologically you're doing more damage not only to yourself but to anybody who aligns with you. And it's like, come on. You can't be so unself-aware that you can't see that this is just being petty, stupid, and not venal. I get the No Kings weirdos, but I don't get it with these people.
However, some really true colors were shown here. And if there was any doubt that we were making stuff up, they could see it. They could hear it.
Yeah. It's better to bring stuff to light.
Yeah. And it really did. Light was shown pretty bright at that meeting.
Well, and for anyone who doesn't know, so at the meeting on Friday, we passed a resolution requesting Michael's resignation. And then he did resign, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yep.
I don't know the date exactly.
Yeah, tax day.
So,
yeah, it's on the screen. It's like
and part of the resolution. Part of the resolution we passed also directs me to hold an election. So the goal is to elect an entirely new executive board. Get a full consensus around our leadership team, not just force everything forward with who we have. Have a whole new team elected, We have 119 PCPs currently now. Started a year ago with 49, so we've grown significantly.
Voter
We've
outreach, man.
Got a lot of new leaders involved.
Reach out to the NABs. Get the voter rolls and take your non-affiliated and just start cold calling.
Yeah.
We plan on doing stuff like that. And now that the party is back together and we're working to do some rebranding and then push the party out there to try to generate new interest in it. I mean, this is the whole new direction, the environment, the atmosphere. And I think Carol and Chris can attest to this. It was just a whole new environment going to that meeting. And I think people are going to want to go to the meetings now because all of this crap is behind us. Everything is behind us after especially this meeting coming up. Really, it's, very few details that we got to seal, and we're hitting the ground running. We got a general election to hit, and that's what we should be focusing on 100%. And Amanda Hawker says, great work, you guys. Thank you. And thank you, Amanda. Thank you for your husband and your son for supporting what we're doing. We appreciate that. And I hope you can come out to the next meeting, and we'll make sure you and everyone else knows what's going on.
I'm thinking now for the first time probably since, I don't even know how long exactly, I might even get notifications.
If you don't, let me know and I'll make sure you do.
I'll say, Chris. Although I have to admit, Rob, the email you sent me for this tonight went to the school board.
Oh,
not my personal.
Oh, well, that's okay. They're invited too. They're always welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, I'm going, where are you? Yeah.
I would like to talk to the North Bend School Board. In fact, that would be a refreshing conversation right there.
Yeah.
So I guess Stocks Family Farm says, good evening, everyone. God bless you all. Democrat protest tomorrow. I'll be live asking the Democrats about their signs. That's great, isn't it?
Hey, when you ask them specific questions, like how long did it take you to make it? Where did you come up with the idea for this? What are you trying to convey with your message? Ask them like actual questions, and then like really be quiet and let them answer and just let them explain themselves. Because people are curious. So I think give them a chance to make their case.
How did Orange Man hurt you?
Yeah. Besides hating Trump,
anything else, right?
What exactly has he done that has bothered you? Give me one. And when you see these interviews going on, they can't eat. Oh well, I don't know. It's just him. Okay.
So what be more specific?
I would like to kind of, if I may, address like the Trump pedo thing, and because this has come up a lot, right?
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form would I defend Trump or like ridicule him, because frankly, I don't care. I don't know him. I'll never meet him. I don't know anything about this situation. But there's a certain kind of cruelty in people who are close to me, who are obsessed with the fact that Trump is a pedo. But I have told them that I have been abused starting when I was a toddler by a man who I named by name. And there are no posts, there are no protests, there are no outrage, there's no calling to hang him. Why do the people so close to me not care about the pedo who hurt me, but they're obsessed with this guy that frankly, none of us are ever going to know enough about to really know what to believe?
Brandi, they're protecting them. Brandi, they protect pedophiles. They protected Henry Delaney. And not only did they protect him, they sent children to him.
And
they're protecting Curtis Buell.
Right,
and
back
they're
in the
sending
same
children
situation.
to him.
Sending minor girls to take their exams under a guy who has abused minor girls. That is so cruel. And I want, if my friends do watch this, I want them to understand that it's actually hurtful when I've told you that this has happened to me and you have basically never brought it up again. But I see you post over and 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 over about Trump. Why don't you care about the people in your own life? Because I'm not trying to be, like grandstand or anything, but it is genuinely hurtful. And I wonder if other victims of abuse feel the same. I don't know.
If they put
Okay.
1/10 of the effort into going after Curtis Buell and learning about that situation and understanding the disgusting things he's done and continues to do with students, the guy wouldn't be around anymore. He would not be in this county for sure. He would not have a job.
Why he was ever put in a position of authority over vulnerable people, like the exact demographic he abused? Why would they do that?
I don't support endorsing John Sweet.
The whole thing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of projection going on because what they're doing is they are protecting pedophiles, and yet they're saying, "Oh, Trump is a pedophile," and I'm like going, "Well, which way is it? You're protecting pedophiles, but now you're saying Trump is a pedophile, and he's not." And it's been proven that yes, he shows up in the Epstein papers, but it was because Epstein was pissed that Trump got him indicted and arrested in Florida. And he was the one person that actually worked with the police to make sure that guy got arrested and got indicted and got convicted. And he was always trying to bring him into the fold, and he wouldn't do it. And Trump was constantly going after this guy. And Trump set up like a non-child trafficking and non-sex trafficking cabinet in the White House to go after this kind of thing. And the day Biden took over, that cabinet closed down the next day. And I mean, to put it this way, Hunter Biden's screen name for his father was Pedo Pete. And, and the daughter of Biden was in drug rehab because she said she was abused as a preteen and a teenager. She couldn't take showers until after midnight because her father would show up and be sexually aggressive in the shower with her. That's Joe Biden. And yet you never hear them yelling about that kind of stuff. So they're projecting. They know that they've been protecting pedos. So they're getting their rage out, but they're getting their rage out against someone. They are PO'd that they've been used as pawns and dupes, and now they're getting their rage out by taking it out on Trump or anybody that supports Trump, because they've painted themselves into a corner and they can't admit to themselves that they're wrong. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to lash out. You see it
Like
with children where they lash out.
When they appointed someone to the presidential ballot, these people were denied their opportunity for a primary election, and the candidate was appointed to the ballot. And there are obviously there's a whole reason why it led up to that, and that it could have been stopped way before it ended up the way it did. But the irony of that to me was just.
Yeah, no kings, but if you don't take this vaccine, you'll lose your job. No kings, but
we're going to choose the
everybody voted in the primaries. Everybody voted for Biden, but at the last minute during the Democratic National Convention, without a vote, they appointed Kamala, and it's like, okay, but no kings. Everybody, by the way, who voted in the primary, well, you don't count. So yeah,
wild.
So I would like to hear all of your opinions on this. I don't know if you all saw this, but Drew Farmer came out and endorsed Bethel, which I think she's the best candidate for governor, hands down. Personally, I think should be governor. And I guess so does Drew Farmer. That was mind-blowing. He says there Danielle is the only candidate with the local government experience and a leader amongst leaders. As a past AOC president, she is the best candidate. What do you think?
I'm super proud of Drew for doing that. I think it was a great choice. I think he could have helped her more by saving that endorsement for the general election rather than the primary. But great picture of Drew. And I don't know. I know that he has hesitated to do stuff like this. So the fact that he did, I really am like a Bethel girl as well. So I love her. I think she's a great candidate. I think it was a good choice for an endorsement, honestly.
I know they're good friends. I've talked to Danielle about it, and she's actually pretty good friends with Drew.
Yeah, and during the debate at Marshfield, I thought she was like the best person in that debate. I mean, I like David Medina. I like him. He's a firebrand. He needs to work on his messaging. Ed Deal, he's got that whole no tax thing going on, which is a grassroots that had $350,000 behind it. And he's using that as his launching point. And he talked like a politician. And when asked questions, pointed questions about, why were you voting for, money, our tax money for illegals on Medicare and Medicaid? And he's like, oh, we didn't do that. And it's like, no, you go look at his voting record, and he most certainly did.
Mhm.
But he was like 100% politician. I'm like, yeah, we don't need more of that.
No.
We need a Bethel. That's
I
what we
wish
need.
I wish more people would start saying that more loudly, Marty. We don't need more of the same. And this idea, I'm coming up against this idea that you have to have become embedded in government to be qualified to serve in government. And
Isn't
I
that
just find that
crazy?
so un-American, so undemocratic, so just it flies in the face of everything that America is supposed to be. Should the person be qualified? Absolutely. But working in the government or public sector is not the only experience that's relevant to government service. And what's really crazy is the people that I've heard this kind of stuff from have not had a single conversation with me about like how my experience is relevant, what my experience is like. If I were on the outside looking in, I would have really specific questions for me. Like I would say, hey, Brandi, I see that you served as an executive committee member for the New York City Independent Party. How was that? What did you learn from that? What did you take from that you're going to apply to your work as commissioner? I have so much respect for intelligent questions, but the mudslinging is so lowbrow. And I'm like not a classy person. I don't think, I'm not up here. I'm like born, raised in a trailer. Like,
Yeah.
But I just expect more of people than what I've been seeing.
I'm trying to work my way up to white trash. So,
Trying to work my way up to white trash. So, Chris, what did you think of this? I thought, this was just absolutely, I like it. I think it's really cool. I'm not a big Drew Farmer fan, but what do you think?
I'm surprised at the reaction. People seemed fairly okay with it. I thought it would backfire on Bethel when I first saw it, that because like Drew in the true conservative circles around here, Drew's not very popular. So I figured those people who support Danielle would kind of be like turned off by this, but they don't seem to be, because like you said, she's the best candidate. So they believe that, and they're like, hey, Drew actually got one right here. So it's not rubbing off on her. So it's good. I mean, if she moves on to the general election, I hope he continues with that endorsement. Yeah. So, and we obviously hope she does move on. But I think she has the best shot of winning the general election. I think Ed Deal would also have a pretty good chance. And people say Chris Dudley, but I just don't know enough about that situation. It just doesn't feel right to me. But
I mean, if money equals votes, which in some cases it does, then Dudley would be the most likely candidate to win. But the guy seems to be, he strikes me as, well, he's an ex-NBA guy. He's an likes the spotlight, likes the attention. But will he do a good job? Does he answer questions? Will he have a clue as to what to do? I don't think so. I was actually hoping, since everybody in the world and their pet dog seems to be running for governor, I was kind of hoping he would drop and go into senator, because he'd make a great senator, and he'd certainly be better than DBS. And so, I'd rather be like, let's go with Dudley or Perkins for senator, so that the fat boy
Dudley should have ran for Merkley's seat. 100%. I should have switched.
Yeah.
Why aren't more people running for these Senate seats? Because there are a lot of good candidates.
Oh, Christine Drazen.
If you look at the numbers, it's an even harder challenge than winning governor.
I voted for tampons in the boys' bathroom. You should vote for me. This is Christine Drazen.
The Drazen thing
We're
is
gonna
crazy.
get a, we're gonna get a
What
modified.
has changed?
You know,
She did
an
not
AI
win. It wasn't
image,
close. And
fake
then what has
image
changed?
label on
Yeah.
this.
Hey, I want you to
Like-
know that wasn't fake. She sent this to me. I'm officially allowed to use it because she sent it to me.
Oh.
And you know what it looks like? Marty, look at this. Look at this design. You know, does that remind you of a certain senator who last year sent out a flyer every day for the last 10 days of the election? Remember that?
Yeah, it's very similar. And
Very similar.
you know, even though you can use the card, I don't know if that allows you to use the fake voice, though.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it did. I think I read that in
Okay.
there. You can
Yeah,
use
maybe-
your voice. Yeah, I'm pretty. That
maybe
was in there. It was in there.
paid
Here
for
it
by
now. Rob
Paid-
Taylor
paid for by
misrepresents Christine Drazen
paid
in
for by the-
controversial live stream.
I just want to know what has changed since the last election for her. Like, if
Yeah,
people
I mean,
support
did
her,
she-
like, what's she gonna do different? What is the new message that is gonna all of a sudden catapult her to the lead? Because it would be the same race if it was her and Kotek.
I think
Yeah,
the guys who would vote for Danielle Bethel are not going to vote for Christine Drazen, and that's because we got a lot of chauvinist pigs out there. They might not vote for Danielle either because she's a woman, but there are a lot of guys who just will not vote for Christine Drazen for that reason alone. And she is one of those annoying. She comes off as a Karen. Is that just me, or does anyone else get that?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but didn't she concede long before the votes were finished and just basically threw in the towel early? And I'm like, why? Okay, you gave up last time. Why should we support you this time? What?
There you
what
go,
has
Marty.
changed
There's
that you own-
there's the answer.
Did you just grow a spine and we didn't know it? Did you have like
Yep.
spinal
Nope.
reconstruction surgery or something? I don't know.
Yep.
Once somebody's given up and thrown in the towel, I'm like, whoa, I'm not backing that person ever again.
There
She's
you
also
go.
the only candidate who hasn't reached out to Coos County, hasn't met with any of us, hasn't even remotely tried. So why would we support her? I mean, what, like, doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
Sends a pretty clear message.
she
of what
is a
the
quitter.
is going to be for us.
I mean, how do you change the fact? She's a quitter.
Yeah. Vote for me. I quit early. Cave
Yeah.
early, cave often. Christine Drazen.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
I just would like
weird
her to
that she
come
hasn't
and meet with
contacted
us and
any
then-
of us.
Right? Why wouldn't she? I mean,
Yeah.
she's kind of telling us that she doesn't care. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we're not important.
Yeah,
Brandi, are
no,
you
but the
trying-
thing is what is she going to do when we get into the general? Who's she going to lean on then?
Doesn't get me excited to come to the polls.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I
gonna
don't
vote no
see
matter
her
what. But
being the level of change that our state needs. I don't know. I don't see her being disruptive enough. Honestly, we need to completely overhaul the way we're doing human welfare management. Like it's a mess. How we're spending as much on our schools per pupil and getting the results we're getting, like what? It's shockingly bad, and no one has answers. We just, the schools need more money. I would really like to be in a position to contact schools in other states and look at what they're doing compared to what we're doing, and that are getting the results, because something's not right.
Carol, what
Well,
are
we're
we
number
spending per
one.
student these days? Do you
A
know?
lot.
Yeah.
A lot, but you don't want to expect them to know how to read, okay? They've learned to color. They've learned, the different multi-sexes.
It's about 17,000
Yeah,
100
yeah.
to 400
It is.
per pupil.
I am so
Annually.
pro school choice. I'm on the school board, but I'm school choice all the way. There's just, we're ridiculous. I agree with Trump. Get rid of the whole education department. Let the states deal with it. Our biggest problem, though, you have to realize, is Salem.
Yeah.
Okay, Salem is a complete nightmare for the school board. I mean, I'm sorry, and we gotta be woke, you know, and DEA and what? No,
The DEA is coming
We could
down
probably
here.
use some DEA, honestly.
We need some DEA.
Okay. There are so many of the letters.
Yeah.
On the
But-
DEA, not DEI.
Yeah.
They're both problems.
Huh?
They're both problems.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I can imagine how you'd feel about the DEA, Rob. Bitter enemy.
Well,
DEA,
we-
EAG,
we-
whatever.
we need to seriously really work on getting people out to vote. If we can't get them out to vote, everything we're talking about won't matter.
Yeah, well, that's why we
I'll
need
be
to kind of
back.
circle back around to that idea of let's get some, you know, once we get past the primary, what we need to do is start doing a reach out to the NAVs and all the other people and just
Yes.
say,
Are there
You know,
are there people available
we've
to
got a
door
new and
knock
improved
for the
party.
next couple weeks?
what's that?
Do we have people available to door knock over the next couple of weeks?
We can certainly
We-
ask around, but I can certainly
We
get
probably have a few, huh?
Yeah,
We
I
could
think
ask
have a
at the
few.
meeting.
I'll be back and trying to gather people up to do it.
That would be a good thing to do right before or right after the ballots go out. To hit the doors, knocking on the doors, because they'll have that ballot sitting there, you know, next to their door on the table or wherever they get their mail. And you'll be knocking on the door. And, you know, I don't know if you get along with any of the other candidates, but I thought that we should probably have a couple of candidates walk around in a group because number one, it's safer. And number two, if someone likes a specific candidate, you actually have the candidate there and go, oh, well, just a minute. I'll have so-and-so come right by and knock on your doors if you want to meet them, because that has happened to me in the past.
Yeah, I actually have pretty good relationships with a lot of the candidates on the ballot. So that's something that's totally doable. See if we
I
can get
hate you
Gabe out
so
there.
much.
Or
Are you going to be at the
Michael
meeting? Are you coming to the
Bernard, right?
Republican meeting?
I will be there, yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
I put a graphic in the thing for you to share the
Yeah.
meeting graphic.
So I'm going to have a little bit of time to
Details.
talk. I understand that there may be some question as to whether there should be a team of fresh faces as commissioners. And I'd like an opportunity to answer anybody's questions about my experience and make sure that people are confident that I can handle the task of learning to commission. I don't foresee me having any trouble at all. I've managed to earn an Ivy League graduate degree after, you know, a childhood spent in a freaking single wide trailer with an add-on. So I think I can figure it out. I built businesses, coached people into incredible careers. But I'd like to answer really specific questions from people.
You deserve to answer those questions. You deserve to answer those questions, Brandi, and it wouldn't matter if you went to an Ivy League college or not. My question to you.
Well, it's a testament to my ability to learn, right? So I can learn how to do this job. And I already had the vast majority of the skill sets demonstrated in my previous work experience. I would really hope people would take the time to read about my previous work experience. You should expect a resume from every candidate you vote for. And if you're not getting one, you should be suspicious. Anyway.
Would you, my question though is, would you, John Sweet decided to give money, and this is what really did me in on the old man. He gave that money to the all ages drag show for the prom. Would you, in your commission, if you're in commission seat, that position, what are you going to do?
So I would look at the situation, and from what I understand, if John had voted to revoke that money, he would have put himself in a position to have possibly committed an ethics violation. So not only would I have done my due diligence, I would have found out exactly what all of the research says, not just research on adults. I would have contacted the director of the organization, and I would have had very poignant questions about why the flyer was designed the way it was, if it was a misrepresentation of the event. So I would have had quite a bit more pointed questions. And if my colleague had set me up by creating a cover sheet that was potentially an ethics violation because of the way it was worded, I would have brought that up in the meeting.
You
And
could
I
have
would
changed
have been
that. Sweet could
very
have changed that.
transparent.
Sweet could have made an agenda, made a motion to change that.
Hey, Rob.
That would have been an option. Yeah.
I got to address the sweet thing. Here's the thing. I totally disagreed at the meeting, the 10th meeting, when Rod wanted to say push Sweet because of his experience. Nobody's counting that he doesn't have experience. The man's 86 years old. Give me a break. Now, on top of that, God love him, he's got cancer. Okay, this is not going to work for the long term, which means there's a possible likelihood of him not being able to fulfill 4 years.
Yeah.
Then what
let's
happens?
just take a moment to like send him well wishes with his cancer
Yes,
battle. Like my heart
absolutely.
just sunk for him. Like
Absolutely.
I really hope he beats.
But
this
here's the thing. Forget the cancer on the side. He's 86 years old. There's
We
a
can hear you
limit.
pounding on the table, by the way.
Can
At
you hear?
what point are we preventing stewardship?
It's a big issue for me, Marty.
Yeah, I
Literally
know.
blockading it. How do we expect new people to come in, new people to grow as leaders? How do we expect to have new ideas with passion and energy? Do you know how hard it is to bring a new industry into Coos County? Do you think an 86-year-old man with cancer is going to do it? And I'm not trying to be mean.
No.
We have to be realistic about what this county needs. We need industry. We need production.
Yeah.
We need people with the energy who can actually make dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls a day, connecting people to make this stuff happen,
Right.
to really do the work. It's looking like we need a tide gate fixed so that we can free up like several hundreds, if not thousands of acres that have been flooding. Why hasn't this been addressed already? So if he has so much experience, why haven't things changed?
There you go.
I don't ask people who want to criticize me without asking me about the experience that I'm running on.
That was brought up at the meeting.
A little bit of a rant.
You know, with all his experience, why has nothing changed? And yes, he's got it. And yes, we need to give this man prayers for his health and recovery. No question about that. He's a good guy, but now he's served his time. Now go retire, take care of yourself physically. You know,
we have a generation of people who needs to understand that it's time for the next generation to step up and lead.
Yes.
And they just, man, it's like, how much experience do you really need, guys? Or is it the fact that I don't have a penis and gray hair? Let's be honest about it, right? Because I look young. So people don't understand that I turned 44 years old yesterday. So I'm probably older than I look, but you know,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's
I
the
turned 65 on Sunday, so yay me.
Congratulations for making it that long.
I know.
Medicare.
I can collect Medicare now. One thing I wanted to bring up, though, is that, he has all this experience, and I like John Sweet personally. I think he's the kind of avuncular grandfather figure.
Yes.
And I wish
he's
him
a
the best
lovely
with his
person.
health.
Yes.
But he's been in office for 12 years. Has Coos County gotten better over the last 12 years? Is there any demonstrable metric that we can look at and say, you know, John Sweet did this, and it made Coos County better? In the last 12 years, he's improved the county, you know, by doing this, doing that, or doing the other thing. I can't think of a single thing that I can point
where
to
credit's due. He has kept property taxes low.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's a start.
You know, that's.
But wait a minute. How?
They haven't levied stuff. They haven't Well,
They
they've got
can't
to levy
levy.
for the
The
jail.
public has to
what are you gonna
levy.
do?
The public has to vote to levy it, and he tried over and over, and we had to
They
vote
have,
it
so
down
they
over and
have,
over.
right.
Yep.
So they have kept from bankrupting the county. I mean, they've kept despite they've cut the county back and cut the county back. I think they had over 500 employees, you know, back 7 or 10 years ago. And that has been cut down to,
But our property taxes have remained the same that whole time.
And he's voted for every single tax,
inflation, too.
every single tax that has ever been presented to John Sweet, he has voted in favor for. So if you don't want to take the plane trip, don't buy a ticket. That's what I say.
Yeah. So that was the point I was trying to make. Is like I can't think of anything that he's done that would make me go.
I don't,
Well,
I don't have any
he
rebuttals to
brought
that.
this in, he brought that in, he fixed this up. He's, and I'm just like, he's had 12 years. Why give him 4 more? Especially
He's
if like
86 years old.
Yeah. And not only that, but I mean, he must have children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that he can spend time with.
Yes, enjoy your family.
Exactly. So,
Well, we had an opportunity not last December, but 2 Decembers ago, December 2024. We had an opportunity there at the end of the year, right before they were going to lay off all the law enforcement officers in the second part of the jail and plus some. And they were given a proposal for a crowd-funded solution. It was
Yes.
50% funded by the county, 50% funded by voluntary donations, you would sign up to contribute $100 a month to help fund law enforcement.
And there was some
that
talk about
donation was going to be
cities,
matched.
maybe?
That donation was going to be matched by county funds that we had in reserves. And he wouldn't even give it the go ahead to be like looked into. They wouldn't even give it the pause, like, let's pause what we're about to do. We're about to gut law enforcement. We're about to close a part of the jail. They wouldn't even give it pause. It just required 2 votes, and we had 1 from Rod. So,
And there were a number of people in the crowd who were liking that idea, Chris.
Yeah. It was
so
a
they,
popular
they
idea.
always want solutions to be brought forward, and then we bring them, and then they vote them down. I believe they want to go into this dark period for law enforcement around here to really make the public hurt, so that after a couple years of the pain, that they finally just pony up the cash and pass a public safety levy. And it's just that it's those sorts of games that I think people are really sick of playing.
Yeah.
So
no, and they've been doing, I mean, the whole thing with not having enough money for law enforcement or not having enough money for, there are so many things that if they, they could find the money if they wanted to, but the whole idea is to let crime go rampant, let homelessness go rampant, let drugs go rampant, because the whole idea is you turn it into, a third world country, and then when it gets really bad, you can step in and make it better, or you have everybody living on government dole, and then you can control them completely.
I don't agree that that's the county agenda. Now, do I see that coming out of Salem? Yes, absolutely. We see that coming out of the way Salem budgets our money. But at a county level,
the county is doing a similar thing, but not at the Salem level, I think.
I don't think that's the intention at all.
It could be, or it could not be. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, and I'm fine with the whole idea that maybe that's not the case. But when you see the ability to, they could juggle things and make things work better. Like with what Chris just brought up, we could have a system to make it work if they're just willing to make it work. But when they just, when they cast it aside out of hand, you're going, well, there's another agenda going on, obviously, because if they won't even listen to a potential solution, then what in the heck is their agenda? So
I really liked the tax swap idea. I thought that they dropped the county sales tax or the county property tax, and implement an across like a sales tax with caveats for your medication, your food. We could even do high dollar items. So our auto dealerships and our furniture and appliance businesses and stuff would be protected, and it would target kind of our demographic that is not maybe contributing so much to property taxes. So it would just kind of spread that burden a little more equally, and it would also show a little bit more respect for the Fifth Amendment takings clause.
Did
The
you
only
know
way
that
that a
John
sales tax
Sweet-
would have even been remotely palatable to the public would have been if we built trust between the public and the government, the county government. And they completely blew that trust. They had an opportunity to gain the trust by doing this partnership where 50% of the funds come from county reserves and 50% come from donations. And we would show that we could work together towards a goal, and the end goal would have been a tax swap. And the only way that would have worked is through trust and cooperation. And instead they went the opposite direction. They literally gave Jeremy the middle finger at the meeting, and then defunded the police. They laid off law enforcement, and here we are. We don't trust them. They don't trust us. I don't see that sales tax ever happening here anytime soon.
It can happen. It's just going to take different leadership.
But
you would have to change the whole makeup of the commissioners. I put this up here because we did try to recall John Sweet about 10 years ago, and it failed. He wouldn't vote for the Second Amendment preservation ordinance. It passed by 55% of the vote when it went to the ballot. And of course, anytime you have a petition and then you try to recall the person who caused the original petition, the recall goes off first before the initiative petition, and then everyone stops getting petition signatures for the recall once the original initiative has enough signatures. So we weren't able to get the recall, and John Sweet is still there, but the man has been up for recall, folks. This is how bad of a leader he has been.
Yeah. Well, the recall is called, in this case, don't vote him in again. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's another good idea that I'm really surprised they've only recently pursued is bringing Coos Health and Wellness, ADAPT, Bay Area First Step into the jail. Like, use the same facility and bring your money with you. Could you guys imagine? We were talking about the drug problems earlier. Imagine if we had a real inpatient facility where people could actually go and get sober. Like, that offered legitimate behavioral treatment where you actually had to get up and like go to work and do something productive every day. And you were taught like work habits of what's appropriate, what's not, so that when you actually got released, you were hireable. Like, how great would that be? But no one has brought these two entities together until recently. They just brought mental health services into the jail. So that's one step in the right direction. So it's stuff like that, man, if you keep voting for the same people, you're going to get the same result.
It's like we have all these people that are, that are mentally, stressed. They are drug abusers. They are mental cases. There are, and we have all this money going into Coos Health and Wellness, and they're getting money from huge amounts of money from outside sources. Why aren't we using them in one of the pods so that when you get drunks and druggies and homeless people in, they can go into the separate part of the jail that's being proctored by the people that know how to handle mental illness, so that the sheriffs can go after the people that are actually robbing and stealing.
Chris can answer that. Marty, Chris can answer that. He's actually, we've been waiting for the sobering center. It's only going to be one more year. That's all it's going to be. I mean, just ask Chris. He knows all about the 1 year limit that we've been on for, I think, 10 years now.
Well, it's not 10 years, but yeah, since I moved here, they keep saying, oh, we're going to have something like that. Sobering center, mental health services in the jail space. Utilize that space, utilize some of the, the funding from the opioid settlement funds. Just somebody's got to make it happen. I'm sure there are reasons why it's not happening. I'm sure there's all sorts of red tape that they have to bust through, but that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, I know this guy.
I agree. It needs to happen, and they need to get it done. And Brandi's right. There's a lot of money going into Coos Health and Wellness that should definitely go into the jail. And you know, James McHenry had a great statement. He says nothing is preventing all the people who wanted to raise property tax to give their money to the sheriff department. All of those people who are bitching, complaining, and bemoaning the fact that we voted against that tax, if you voted for it, take your money and write a check to the, I believe it's the treasurer for the sheriff's department. You can make it straight out to the sheriff's department.
And if you guys have been able to do that donation program, they may have.
Yeah.
You know, they probably would have, a lot of those people. I think people do want solutions. You know what I mean? Like, people really do want change, but change is scary for people.
Mhm.
How freaking lucky that I happen to actually be a habit change coach with really great success, coaching people through change in a way that is easy and fun. How great is that? But nobody's actually asked me about my experience. This has been a weird race. I got to tell you guys, it's just been
You
weird.
ought to have people show up at their things with loaded questions and just say, okay, I want you to get up and ask this question.
Let's
so that I
go,
can
man.
brag about my
Yeah.
experience without sounding like I'm bragging about my experience. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get some ringers that go and ask the proper questions so that you can go off on your experience.
I got some good ones at my forum, actually. People, it was not well attended, honestly, but the
Yeah.
people who came were amazing, like super engaged. I think the Q&A went on for like 40 minutes. It was 45
Well, if
minutes.
they had a
something.
good
Yeah.
time, then it was successful. That's all that matters. You know what I
It
mean?
really was. Like, it went really well. The material was fantastic. People learned a lot, and I was able to upload those videos and the slides so people can continue to learn from that. But the Q&A, like, people came with real questions, and we got to really, like, I got to give some real candid answers, and it was just refreshing as juxtaposed to the, you know, drive-by
Yeah.
kind of insults that are.
You're right.
I wouldn't be discouraged by the low turnout. It is all these events, political events of late, have had very low turnout. I mean, you had an event with 4 heavy hitters. You had Rick Osborne, John Sweet, Troy Cribbins, and David Brock Smith had an event, a campaign event all together, and the same amount of people showed up for it as did your forum. So
Really?
it's
Okay.
it was not well
That's
attended.
not what are people just getting the information that they feel like they need to get
People are
mostly online,
burnt
so
out.
they just don't.
They're burnt out, Brandi, is the kind of what I'm getting, and they're
I was
not
afraid of
coming
that.
to. I've gone
Yeah.
across the state, going to different events, and everywhere the turnout is way low. Everywhere. It was in Eugene for an event I went to was low. Salem was low. Roseburg was way low. Here's been low. We had a governor's candidate. We should have had 300 or 400 people there, and we had 120, even with the events that were going on. But I do have a special video for you guys. I think you'll like this. This is David Brock Smith complaining about all of us haters out there. You're going to enjoy this.
I'm going to bring the campaign back to the way it used to be. You're never going to hear me talk about Jeff Merkel. You're going to hear me talk about what I want to do in the United States Senate. And we'll see if he bashes me, but I'm not going to bash him. Because, hell, I've had enough of that for my own Republicans, for Christ's sakes. And I got the arrows to prove it in my back. But I want to, it's going to be a different campaign for the United States Senate that you've seen. Some of you may remember him, and I look forward to it because we're going to talk about putting Oregon first again in the.
Yeah, all the arrows in his back. Poor
I
guy.
will say, there was an event where David Brock Smith came, and I don't know much about him, right? So I'm like trying to collect as much information as I can about him and like come to my own conclusions, right?
Mhm.
I've heard a lot from both sides, but he said that within the same paragraph of phrasing that He cares deeply about our rural hospitals. But this at this point was like 2 years into Bay Area's like total nosedive. Had just found out 2 weeks ago that the hospital was facing bankruptcy. Sir, how do you care so deeply about the hospital, the rural hospitals, but you didn't know that one of the major ones was heading towards bankruptcy? Like, how did you not know about that? How did you just find out about that? And so for me, that didn't sit right. Inconsistencies like that, I just noticed right away.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really odd that he plays the victim because once again, this is projection. I mean, he's viciously gone after a number of people and ruined their careers and, sullied their reputations. And all we did, we had the temerity, we had the audacity to ask him about some campaign contributions that we wanted clarification. All we wanted was clarification. As a matter of fact, I posted as a, you got this guy who's got 20 years experience in China business and you're on the Oregon China Council. Do you think this guy would be a great benefit to helping Oregon get more China business? And pose the question that way, because, if we just went, hey, you got 125 grand from a guy who's a Democrat that runs a multi-billion-dollar Chinese investment firm, he just went ballistic and he went after everybody and burned them to the ground. And now he's saying, people are stabbing me in the back. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do a David Brock Smith. I need more nasal line.
He's calling us haters. Yeah.
I've taken a look at his OR and I definitely had questions. I have not gotten a straight answer from the Secretary of State because my whole thing was, I'm looking at the campaign finance rules and you can't have more than 10% of your campaign contributions come from outside your district. And I'm looking at some of, other people's campaign and like most of their contributions come from outside their district. Like we're talking outside the state.
Yeah.
And so because I'm like, I can make one phone call to New York and have my campaign paid for like 3 times over if that's cool, but it's not. And so I don't understand. Is it 10% of when? During an election cycle?
I don't know what the law is on that. I because we were trying to figure that out for a lawsuit. Danessa would be the one to ask about that. But Chris, I haven't played that video yet, and I gotta hear your response to DBS claiming to be the victim while simultaneously I'm telling everybody he's the most powerful man in politics. I'm the most powerful man, and I'm a victim. How does he do it?
Well, the best example would be when Danessa, myself, and Rick Coleman ran for the SWAC board. Danessa and I were relatively known, especially Danessa was known to him. I really wasn't. I had met him for maybe 15 minutes at a conference like a month prior. And all I did was ask him about your radio show being canceled and this guy named Tim Tuttle. Like I just asked a couple questions. I was not a jerk, nothing at all.
That's a question for him though.
But the simplest example is Rick. So he endorsed all of our Democrat opponents, and that includes Rick Coleman's Democrat opponent. He had no clue who Rick Coleman was. He had never met the man, didn't know anything about him. And he just did it just to spite Danessa. And I guess I don't really know what his beef with me was at the time. Once he did that, I obviously called him out for it as that just being absolutely nuts. And then at the online, he came after me even more. He said, the 3 of us don't have integrity. Then he got backlash for that. And then I confronted him at the next convention, ORP convention. He told me to F off, said he didn't want to talk to me anymore. And that was after other people had suggested that we just talk it out like men, but it doesn't help when there's only one man in the conversation. And that was what he chose to do. That's what kind of a person he is. He's going to make accusations like I don't have integrity and Rick Coleman, he doesn't even know the man. I mean, that's rude. It's one thing if he's just a senator, he's just a candidate, or even if he's just a registered Republican, but he tries to be involved at a high level in the Oregon Republican Party. And the number one purpose, it's in our It's in our bylaws. It's in our mission statement. The number one purpose of the Oregon Republican Party is to get Republicans elected. He endorsed 3 Democrats in the SWAC board election. Yes, the same SWAC board who is protecting a pedophile,
An actual,
or I guess depending on the definition of
sexual
pedophile,
predator.
but a sex offender
Convicted
who
sex
molested
offender.
his students in a school in Eugene before being hired at SWAC, and he still remains there. Why in the world would a college hire a sex offender at all, and why would they appoint him director of the GED program? It is insane, people. I cannot ever get over it.
He
And
got
David Brock
a
Smith
recommendation. He
endorsed
got a
those
recommendation from his parole officer, Mr. Castleman.
Insane.
I mean, come
Yeah,
on, the guy,
crazy.
I just
disgusting.
don't.
Those
Man,
people
you
are
guys,
disgusting.
I don't,
Honestly,
like,
the people on that
if
board are
people wanna-
disgusting. The people who made that decision are disgusting. The president of that college is disgusting. Absolutely foul creatures on this earth for protecting that man. That is disgusting. I will never let that one go. Sorry, Brandi, go
I
ahead.
don't get it. I don't understand. If I don't mind people like criticizing Trump for if the women accused him of abusing them or whatever they did, like they have a completely valid right to accuse him, whatever. Fine, be mad about that. But why aren't you mad about the stuff happening in your own community?
Yeah.
Like
But
I
when
just
you
want,
accuse
I
somebody,
want
you
to
can
see-
go through the proper channels of getting it brought to court and things like that. So like it's not like you can go on like the Oregon State database for criminals and look up Trump and see that he was a sex offender. He did get
Right.
accused of crimes and convicted of crimes.
Right.
There is nothing like that for Trump. So that part of it's
Wasn't
absurd.
he
We're not
convicted
comparing
in
apples to
court?
apples.
Like
Yeah.
In civil
technically,
court for
in civil. Gotcha.
yeah,
The
very
burden
different.
of proof is way lower in civil court, by the way.
And
One of the other things.
I'll be frank, like Donald Trump and I probably wouldn't be friends if he lived in this town. Like it would just be one of those people that I stay away from. Like some of the
Right.
stuff he does and says is like, what the heck? But that's you got to look at the period in time that Donald Trump came into presidency and what we needed, and he was what we needed at the time. He's still what we need. There's no similar situation at SWAC. It's not like, man, we were really hurting for a GED director and we needed that man Curtis Buell to come save our community college. He was the man with the ideas and the passion to save our students. And look, he's been there for 15 years and we have skyrocketing graduation rates in our community because of Curtis
We have
Buell,
girls that have
the
dropped
Wonder Man
out.
sex offender. Total fucking
Unattended
joke.
pregnancies are well on the rise.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. There's my rant.
Well, there was a good rant, but I mean,
Hypocrisy.
I got to get something else out before we move on. And Carol made the point that she was not getting emails from the former chair. I had stopped under the last chair. Rod Schilling stopped sending me emails before Brainerd even was elected. But the thing was Chris, you said that David Brock Smith was one of the designated people who got a regular email.
Yeah, so we got control now of the email list, and the email list, like the PCP email list, the party members list that the meeting notices went out to a subset of the actual PCPs. And then there were 3 people who were added as people who would get those notices that were not party members. And that was Boomer Wright, Court Boyce, and David Brock Smith.
So they were like intentionally excluding PCPs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to prove intent, I don't know. I mean, there are some PCPs that I do not have contact information for to this day. Like I mentioned, the people in Fairview, or I have contact information, but they're not.
Did you send me
opening
their
my
name?
emails. No, I have. At that time, I've been on a show.
Well, yeah, you can multitask, right?
God,
All
get
right.
on it, man. Jeez. He just had a baby. Leave him alone. He's got baby syndrome right now.
Anyways,
got-
but yeah, no, you know what I mean? So I don't know about intentional. It seems intentional. The guy was reminded. I mean, how many times, Carol, have you told him that you're not getting notices? And all he has to do is figure it out, or if email's not working for you,
Carol, are
it's
you
not like it
filing
says
your
in the
nails?
bylaws that if email doesn't work, then screw the PCP. No, you can call them, you can send them a mailing. It actually kind of reads in the bylaws that we have to send mail, like snail mail, not electronic. So I don't know, just do better. But we got to move past all this. So we have a
Yeah.
new party, we have new
Yes.
people, we have a whole new mission and agenda, and we're going to move forward. We're going to do a whole lot better. If anyone ever has any issues, you know who to come to. You can come to me, you can come to Rob, you can come to any of us who are involved, because we're actually involved now, and we want you involved, and we want to move forward. We want ideas, we want people to help, we want you to know about our meetings. So hopefully that helps clear it up. People should not be being excluded from notices. Even the notice he sent out for the meeting at Tugman, it's like it did not go to any of the new people who got appointed.
Right.
Like, and some of the 20 of those were his people that he added. I don't get it. I really don't. But we got to move forward. So I have their information. I'm sending them a notice. Sorry,
Good.
what was
Guys,
that, Marty?
I think I have to call it a night.
Okay.
I'm beat, and I have another long day ahead of me. I got to get up early and get a lot done. So it was a pleasure. I'm going to go ahead
was a
and head
pleasure.
out.
Thank you for joining us, Brandi. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank
night,
you.
Brandi.
Good night, everybody. Good night,
See you, Brandi.
Carol.
All right.
I'm not far behind her, guys. It's getting late and I'm getting tired.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
You know, hey, did you notice how the rants are getting a little shorter as Rob's getting older?
Yeah. I either need to
Well,
start
we've had some
drinking
good
whiskey.
ones. There was like a 4-hour one once.
Oh, I know. I think I was on that one. I'm going, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I don't know how our bladders made it through. That was the most impressive part. Marty, we got to come up with those commercials for everyone, and that way we can play the 3-minute commercial where we can all run to the bathroom, get back all in time. And
Remember back in the old days when broadcast TV, you only had 3 channels, and it'd be like the commercial break would hit, and everybody'd be diving for the bathroom because you couldn't pause TV back then. You couldn't replay anything. So it was like, oh, a 2-minute commercial coming up, and it'd be like a fist fight to get into the bathroom. So yeah, we were thinking of doing like the commercials that we have at the end of the show, just make a package out of them and make it like a 3 or 4 minute video where it's like, okay, you're listening to the Rob Taylor Report, brought to you by 3H Tree Service, and brought to you by, Tom and
Take
Gage.
like a little intermission.
Yeah, it's intermittent. Everybody gets to take a break, go get a glass of water, go hit the restroom, whatever. And then that way we can do like once an hour, just have a little break where everybody takes a breath and go, and now we're going to talk about Pekingese, poodles, and, Spaniards or something, but it's just, I noticed you had the thing up that says sign the petitions. Yes, we have somebody at headquarters from 2 to 6, Monday through Friday now. So check that out. I was doing Thursday and Friday, and I got a total of 2 people come in. So that's 2 more than we had before.
oh, hey, Marty, don't move. Don't move. You're doing good. Go for it.
Oh, hey, the Rob Taylor Report is brought to you by 3H Tree Service. They are if you have a tree that's over your house, in your yard, blocking your driveway, or you just don't like the way it looks, you got to call up 3H Tree Service at 541-294-1800 because it'll sound exactly like Carol filing her nails when they cut down your trees. Where is your
My
microphone?
goodness.
We can hear every sound you're making, like tapping the keyboard or tapping the
She has
desk
3
or
microphones.
filing your nails, and I'm like going, and now it's 3H Tree Service taking your trees down with a fingernail file. They are that precise. They know what they're doing. But anyway, so if you need some trees done, 3H Tree Service, they're a great supporter of this show. If you like this show, then support them. so they can support us as well. Should we
Great
go on
guys.
to the next one?
Yes, absolutely.
And one of those 3 H's just got appointed PCP. So
yes, he
Yay.
did. That's Matt Holman.
Yeah.
he did. I got to get going. I'm like a half hour past my bedtime, but
You got it.
I fully endorse 3H tree service and Tom and Gigs. I'm out of here.
Have
All
a
right.
good
See you
night.
guys.
Bye.
Appreciate you having me on.
Bye.
Thanks, Chris.
I thought
Bye,
I
Phil.
had this figured out correctly with this ear thing, but I don't, right?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, we can hear you fine, and I guess you can hear us. But the thing is when you're filing your nails or you're tapping on the desk, it was like it sounded like you were doing a Gene Krupa drum solo for a while there. It was like
That's how good the microphone is. It's
yeah.
picking up everything.
So yeah, I don't know if you got a mic sitting on a desk or what's going on, but yeah, it was pretty funny because I was like going, somebody's got a drum solo going on. That's going pretty good there.
It sounded like bongos at first. It sounded like someone was doing bongos and someone was talking, and I was like, "That's kind of cool."
Yeah, it was like
Oh goodness. Well, someday I'll get it right.
That's okay. Hey, I still, I had 3 people ask me to go and live stream 3 different events. Microphones weren't working, the cameras weren't working, the live stream was all screwed. I mean, it was like one shitty event after another, and what can you do? You try.
every eventuality we plan for something, every eventuality we planned for, it turned out it was something completely different. So one time it was, the battery on the microphone was bad, or one time it was we had internet coverage that was just horrible and everything kept dropping out. And it was just like, okay, next time we'll bring this, next time we'll bring that. So we'd bring this or that, and that part would be fine. And then something else would screw up, and it'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
come on, really? How many things can we screw up? Well, we're learning. We have a much longer list of things to bring along to keep from screw ups from happening, but there we go.
Who knows?
Anyway, now we're on to Tom and Gigs. So Tom and Gigs, established in 1969 at 135 South Shoneman Street in Coos Bay, Oregon. They are the people to go to if you want your car worked on. If you're going on a long trip and you want them just to check it out to make sure you're going to be safe, go to Tom and Gigs because they can do that for you. And they also have like things like lift kits and, performance accessories and, all sorts of interesting things. But not only do they do real cars and trucks, but they have RC models and drones and RC planes and RC helicopters. So if you got anything that has motion in it, they've got either an RC version or they can fix your real one. So there's planes, there's there's off-road vehicles there, and some of these are huge. Oh, and not only that, but you can get tannerite. So if you're really getting tired of your RC car and you want to blow it up, well, they got tannerite, so you can do that too. But you got to be over 18, and you will be asked to show ID, similar to how Herbal Choices, where it's like this is where you go to get to your cannabis products, but you have to show an ID just to be in the store, and you got to be 21 for that. So,
Oh, wait,
3 years
before you
out-
go, I have to say this. I found out you have to say this.
What's that?
Keep this out of the hands of children. Do not operate a vehicle or heavy equipment while under the influence of this drug, Herbal Choices. So I'll be staying here and I'll be keeping it out of the hands of children. And I will not be operating any heavy equipment or driving. I just want everyone to know because I'm doing the Friday night rant from home like a responsible adult after I visited Herbal Choices.
Yeah, I had to hustle home from the HQ so I could get home in time to grab a bite to eat and join the rant because Rob was like, well, you can just do it from the HQ. And I'm like, so I'm going to be at the headquarters from 1 p.m. until like 11 o'clock at night. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Crazy,
That's
man.
not gonna happen, man. No. So
Maybe
anyway,
in the
but-
summer we'll have to do parties or something. We'll have a party. We'll have a rant party. We'll
rant
see.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just have people like, have a desk and have people just drop in and let them rant for a couple of minutes. And
Yeah.
see how that goes. That could be fun.
I
But
like
anyway,
that.
Herbal Choices has 5 convenient locations. They've got Charleston, Coos Bay, Bandon, North Bend, and Reedsport. And if you're going to the Coos Bay store, you're going to have to make sure that you're not smoking and driving because that parking lot is dinky and hard to
Yeah.
get in and out of.
It is a
And
tricky
of
one
course,
to get in and out of.
and by the way, if you'd like to come to the headquarters and help out by sitting around and helping gather signatures or giving out signs or giving out cupcakes, because we seem to have a lot of cupcakes for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved and be at the HQ, we've got people there Monday through Friday, 2 to 6. It's the 3 of us on the show right now. It's myself, Rob, and Carol.
Yeah.
And but if you want to help out, we can send you a link to our Sign Up Genius account, and you can pick times where you can show up and help as well. So that way you can get people to sign all these petitions. We've got 6 to choose from. Sign one, sign them all. Then Gesundheit to Carol.
I know. Yeah.
So Jeanette said that she was going to volunteer, and then another person told me she would like to volunteer. And so we'll get those numbers out there because I know you're doing 2 days, I'm doing 2 days, and
I prefer to do one actually. So
yeah.
if we could get more people in, that'd be great. And we do have a Sign Up Genius thing, so just send them the link to that, and they can go. Oh, hey, I could do Wednesday morning from 10 to 2.
I have Jeanette's number because she went with Elmer and Doug today to put some signs out.
Yeah.
She reminds me a lot like Danessa. She's a go-getter.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, and we're talking Jeanette Bonseal, I think it is.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. She is from Deschutes, and she was working with some of the go-getters I knew from Deschutes. So it's like, yeah, she's got a lot of energy, and she's raring to go, and she wants to help out. So right now she's knee deep in Ed Deal stuff, but she's willing to help out as much as she can. So
that ought to be good though. If Ed Deal is the one, because he's got a lot of endorsements, I think he has a good chance of getting out. That would be really cool to have her. We got the headquarters now. We'll have his team in the headquarters because she's really comfortable with working with us. And it was cool when she moved here. She had no clue what the situation was. And she immediately started talking with Michael and Rod Schilling and all them and realized there's just something not right here. And started talking to us and realized, wait a minute, you guys sound much more normal than these other people. And yeah.
She was having difficulty getting any information at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not
So
surprising.
are we wrapping up here, Rob? What's going on?
Yes, we're wrapping up. Thank you for joining. I'll see you all on Monday. Hey, on Sunday night, I think I'm going to do a special. I did a really good interview with Tara Ross. She's she used to be a congressional historian, but she's a historian. She's a lawyer. She just wrote a book for children. I did a great interview with her. You might even know her. She's been on a lot of TV shows, and I hope to have that out on Sunday. And Monday, I'll just be doing the regular Rob Taylor report. So thank you guys for joining me.
Hey, love you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Marty. And for the rest of you guys, you know what I always say, carry on, Coos County. Carry on.